Hey guys, it's Titos. So I thought it might be a great time to discuss and speculate about the roadmap of the Division 2. There is a lot of information that we already know, but there is some left up in the air for us to speculate. I'll be trying to go over most of it. So, from the start, the first release will be the Tidal Basin Stronghold, which is the Black Tusk Stronghold. It seems to be a hovercraft and some type of a port area in which we assault the Black Tusk. With it also unlocks the heroic difficulty, which means there are no checkpoints, making it a lot harder and more difficult than any of the previous difficulties. With completing the Tidal Basin will also come 3 new gear sets, which are supposed to be awesome and with a lot of information about them or a lot of text with them. With Tidal Basin also come the weekly invasions. It's when a stronghold is taken over by some other faction. I'm not 100% sure if it's always going to be the Black Tusk or if it will be some other faction trying to take hold of their opponent's areas. But so far we have only seen the Black Tusk. After that, sometime later, will of course come the first raid, 8-player raid, which is the Dark Hours. We don't know too much about it, but what we can tell, it is apparently an airport and there is something going down there. From the screenshots, it doesn't look as if they are dealing or we are dealing with a military grade airport or military grade aircraft, but there still might be something interesting down there. Maybe there are some big military planes that just didn't make it out of DC that couldn't take off for reasons. We're going to recover it, or maybe it's just an opposing extreme stronghold where they have made their bases, all their heaviest equipment, and we just see them as a threat. We don't yet know, but there are many possibilities that we're dealing with, and we know that it partially takes place, at least partially takes place, in a airport. So these are the main things we can expect after launch. After that, there will be 3 free DLCs which we can expect. First one being the DC Outskirts Expeditions. It brings us 2 new main missions, and apparently the fight's taking place to take control of the DC, Washington DC. They control the city. It seems that we can expect a bit more nature in this DLC than the usual city buildings. From the story perspective, it might be that we're trying to cut off the support for one of these factions, try to keep them from getting supplies, support, resources, and just try to take control of the border areas so we can control the traffic in and out of the city. Or there might be some resources that we want to get for ourselves to support our people, support our side. There are many possibilities. The first DLC will also bring a new game mode. We don't know too much about it. But apparently it's something to do with trying to discover an attacked convoy, trying to do something, trying to save it, trying to look for it, and, well, finding unpleasant surprises as it is usual. Personally, this type of a DLC doesn't intrigue me that much, but I'm still quite a bit interested how they're gonna pull it off. So, the second DLC we are getting is Pentagon, The Last Castle. This already sounds promising. In short, we are going to take a crack at the Pentagon. We're trying to break in there. Apparently it's controlled by someone else. We want what's in there. We're gonna find something interesting, and there is some story to it. Although it is still in the works and too much information is not given, it still seems like a great narrative in the case of Washington DC. Discover some hidden rooms, nuclear codes, or something else that might be of very high strategical value. I mean, with Pentagon, you have no idea where that's gonna go. But since the location is a high military command center, there is bound to be something interesting there. Sadly, we don't know what the third DLC is about, but apparently it's supposed to wrap things up with the first season passes main story. So I think we might be pushing out the Black Tusk, or maybe defeating their leadership or command. We only got this one screenshot about it, and it might be in a development cycle where they don't want to reveal too much to us, so we cannot guess what's going on. Sadly, since there are no teases, there are no small hints. It might be that we are taking north or south part of the town for ourselves and trying to push out the opposing forces by taking control of some important strategic location of high value. During the first year, there will be added 3 specializations. We do not know exactly when they're coming out, but most obvious bet is along with the DLCs. We also don't know what the specializations are, but there are a couple of hints. So apparently we can see here the 3 new specializations that are coming. The most easiest to spot is the middle one, because it has so many particles around its weapons, it almost seems as if we're dealing with a machine gun. It might also be an assault rifle, but it's pretty hard to understand what it is. You can see that there is a barrel and probably a gas tube and a stock back there. So it's a pretty long gun. I think there is also scope attached onto it, and it seems to have some type of a magazine. It might as well be an assault rifle, or it might indeed be a machine gun. I don't think it is a shotgun, but some type of a rifle or assault rifle of sorts. We can't say for certain, but this is pretty much what the tease looks like. We also actually see the second weapon to the right. It seems to be like a tip of a SMG or something nifty. We can also see the watch in the middle there, so we can guess how far the handle is, the pistol grip. But not much more, I'd say. It's pretty hard to say what we have there. It does look like an SMG. Some may say it's a shotgun, but I believe it's more like an SMG. I'm not 100% sure. Some may say the middle one might be a shotgun or something like that, but I highly doubt it. And the last one on the left side, sadly, we cannot say much about it. We see where the arm is, so I'm guessing that's where the grip is. But we can't see much more. Maybe the rear end of the rear tip of the stock back there near his shoulder, but I guess that's about it. I mean, we can't see it perfectly. It's just an assumption. It's just a tease. We can only speculate. There might be some players who have already figured it out or might have an assumption which direction they might be going. But, well, this is as much as we know for now. We also have the ongoing content. So here's their 1-year content plan. So on the 5th of April, we get the Invasions Battle for DC. We get episode 1 sometime during the 2019 summer, episode 2 at autumn, and episode 3 at winter. We don't have much information about episode 3. It also seems to take us a bit out of Washington DC, I believe, although I'm not that certain. We don't yet know, but I mean, the only screenshot we had of it was kind of a lonesome house near the sea, I believe. Can't say for certain. So there are also ongoing content. You can see gear, projects, raids, narratives, cosmetics, conflict mode updates, bounty events, challenges, weapons. There will be more content added throughout this year. Sadly, or fortunately, for the Year Pass owners, they get 7 days early access to most of these things when they come out. And, well, the rest will just have to wait. Anyways, thanks for watching.